Welcome back to Golden Greats. Today we're exploring the 20 most beautiful Hollywood stars, women whose beauty, elegance, and screen presence became unforgettable. From classic icons to timeless favorites, their faces defined glamour across generations. But beyond the spotlight, their journeys revealed change, strength, and grace that time could never erase. Now, let's begin. Angelina Jolie was born on June 4, 1975, in Los Angeles, California, into a famous acting family. Although Hollywood was always nearby, her teenage years were complicated, and she often felt like an outsider before finding confidence through acting. With her full lips, striking eyes, and fearless style, Angelina had a look nobody could forget. She could appear elegant one minute and genuinely dangerous the next, giving her the kind of screen presence that made every character feel larger than life. She won an Academy Award for Girl, Interrupted, and became an action icon through Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Wanted, and Maleficent. She later moved behind the camera as a director and producer. Her marriage to Brad Pitt became one of the most followed relationships in celebrity history, and their long separation brought years of legal disputes. Angelina also spoke publicly about undergoing preventive surgeries after learning she carried a high-risk BRCA1 gene mutation. Now 51, Angelina remains an actress, filmmaker, and humanitarian campaigner. Fans still picture Lara Croft's twin pistols, Maleficent's black horns, and that unforgettable stare, a combination of beauty, strength, and just a little bit of danger. Pam Grier was born on May 26, 1949, in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and grew up in a military family that moved around frequently. After arriving in Los Angeles, she worked several jobs before unexpectedly getting her first chance in movies. With her natural curls, confident walk, and seriously tough attitude, Pam looked nothing like the helpless women often seen in action films. She didn't wait around to be rescued. She walked in, handled the bad guys, and usually looked amazing doing it. She became the queen of 1970s action cinema through films like Coffee, Foxy Brown, Sheba, Baby, and Friday Foster. Decades later, Quentin Tarantino gave her a brilliant comeback with the title role in Jackie Brown. Pam's characters made her a groundbreaking figure for black women on screen, though some of her early films were criticized for violence, stereotypes, and exploitation. Away from acting, she survived cervical cancer after being given a frightening diagnosis in the late 1980s. Today, 77, Pam remains one of cinema's original female action heroes. Fans still remember Foxy Brown's bold outfits, the huge afro, and that "don't mess with me" expression that could make an entire room go quiet. Audrey Hepburn was born on May 4, 1929, in Brussels, Belgium. She spent part of her childhood in the Netherlands during World War II, where hunger and hardship shaped the compassion she carried for the rest of her life. With her delicate features, dark brows, and effortlessly elegant style, Audrey looked completely different from Hollywood's usual glamorous bombshells. She had a quiet charm that never felt forced, graceful, playful, and somehow impossible not to love. Her breakthrough in Roman Holiday earned her the Academy Award for Best Actress. She later starred in Sabrina, Funny Face, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Charade, and My Fair Lady, creating some of cinema's most iconic fashion moments. Away from acting, Audrey devoted her later years to helping vulnerable children as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador. Having experienced wartime hunger herself, she traveled to communities facing famine and conflict, using her fame for something genuinely meaningful. Audrey died at her home in Switzerland on January 20, 1993, aged 63, from a rare form of abdominal cancer. Fans still remember the black dress, long gloves, and tiara from Breakfast at Tiffany's, a timeless image of elegance with a warm heart behind it. Charlize Theron was born on August 7, 1975, in Benoni, South Africa. She trained as a ballet dancer and later moved abroad to pursue modeling, but an injury changed her plans and eventually pushed her toward acting. With her statuesque figure, sharp features, and cool confidence, Charlize seemed made for glamorous roles. But she quickly proved she was willing to look rough, get bruised, and completely disappear inside characters most stars wouldn't touch. She broke through in The Devil's Advocate and became a major star through The Cider House Rules and The Italian Job. Her transformation in Monster earned her the Academy Award for Best Actress and changed how Hollywood viewed her talent. Charlize later became a full-blown action icon in Mad Max, Fury Road, Atomic Blonde, and The Old Guard. She also founded the Charlize Theron Africa Outreach Project, supporting young people and community health programs in Southern Africa. Currently 50, Charlize remains one of Hollywood's boldest performers and producers. Fans still picture Furiosa's shaved head, the brutal fight scenes in Atomic Blonde, and a star who has never been afraid to trade perfect beauty for a seriously powerful role. Scarlett Johansson was born on November 22, 1984, in New York City. She started acting as a child and landed her first movie role at 9, slowly building a career without becoming another young performer who disappeared after a few films. With her smoky voice, classic features, and relaxed confidence, Scarlett had old Hollywood glamour from an early age. She could appear mysterious and untouchable, but her dry humor and emotional honesty made her feel surprisingly down to earth. She gained critical attention through The Horse Whisperer, Ghost World, and Lost in Translation. Later, playing Natasha Romanoff, better known as Black Widow, turned her into one of the most recognizable action stars in the world. Scarlett earned 2 Academy Award nominations in the same year for Marriage Story and Jojo Rabbit. She also won a Tony Award on Broadway and has pushed back publicly when Hollywood treated female characters or performers unfairly. As of 2026, at 41, Scarlett continues balancing major blockbusters with smaller dramatic roles. Fans still remember Black Widow's red hair, black suit, and deadly calm. But Lost in Translation proved long ago that she never needed action scenes to hold an audience. Margot Robbie was born on July 2, 1990, in Dalby, Queensland, Australia, and grew up on the Gold Coast. Before Hollywood, she worked several jobs at once and appeared in Australian television, determined to build a career far beyond her hometown. With her bright smile, blonde hair, and effortless confidence, Margot could easily have been treated as just another glamorous actress. Instead, she brought sharp humor, wild energy, and surprising vulnerability to characters who might otherwise have felt completely over the top. Her international breakthrough came as Naomi LaPaglia in The Wolf of Wall Street. She later became Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad, earned an Oscar nomination for I, Tonya, and delivered memorable performances in Bombshell and Babylon. Margot also became a powerful producer through Lucky Chap Entertainment, helping bring projects such as Promising Young Woman and Barbie to the screen. Barbie became a global phenomenon and earned her an Academy Award nomination as a producer. Presently 36, Margot is one of the biggest actresses and producers of her generation. Fans still remember Harley Quinn's pigtails, Tonya Harding's ice skates, and Barbie's pink convertible, 3 completely different looks, all carried by the same fearless star. Gal Gadot was born on April 30, 1985, in Petah Tikva, Israel, and grew up in the nearby city of Rosh Ha'ayin. Before acting, she studied dance, played sports, and won the Miss Israel title at just 18 years old. With her tall frame, dark hair, and calm confidence, Gal had the kind of presence that felt both elegant and powerful. She could walk into an action scene without forcing it, looking like someone who genuinely belonged in the middle of the fight. Her first major Hollywood role was Giselle Yashar in Fast and Furious. She later became a worldwide star as Diana Prince in Wonder Woman, bringing warmth, strength, and old-school heroism to one of comic books' most famous characters. Gal expanded her career with films including Red Notice, Death on the Nile, and Heart of Stone. Her public comments on political conflicts have also attracted strong reactions, proving that life outside the movies can be far more complicated than any superhero story. Now 41, Gal remains instantly connected with Wonder Woman. Fans still picture the golden tiara, the shield, and that slow-motion walk across no man's land, a scene that turned her from a rising actress into a full-blown global icon. Emma Stone was born Emily Jean Stone on November 6, 1988, in Scottsdale, Arizona. As a teenager, she reportedly used a homemade PowerPoint presentation to convince her parents to let her move to Los Angeles and chase an acting career. With her huge green eyes, husky voice, and perfectly timed awkwardness, Emma never felt like a manufactured movie star. She could look glamorous on the red carpet, then play someone messy, nervous, or completely bizarre without holding anything back. She broke through with Superbad, Zombieland, and Easy A before starring in The Help, Birdman, and The Favorite. Her performance as Mia in La La Land earned her the Academy Award for Best Actress. Emma won her second Best Actress Oscar for playing Bella Baxter in Poor Things, one of the boldest and strangest performances of her career. She has also become a producer, choosing unusual projects instead of taking the safest Hollywood route. As of now 37, Emma is one of the most respected actresses of her generation. Fans still remember Mia's yellow dress and bittersweet final smile in La La Land, but her fearless work in Poor Things proved she was only getting more interesting. Anne Hathaway was born on November 12, 1982, in Brooklyn, New York, and grew up in New Jersey. Inspired by her mother's stage career, she started performing young and landed the role that would turn her into a household name before she was even 20. With her huge brown eyes, warm smile, and slightly awkward charm, Anne never felt like the untouchable Hollywood type. She could play a clumsy teenager, a glamorous fashion assistant, or a broken woman, and somehow make every version feel completely believable. She became famous as Mia Thermopolis in The Princess Diaries, and later starred in The Devil Wears Prada, The Dark Knight Rises, and Interstellar. Her heartbreaking performance in Les Miserables earned her the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. For a while, Anne faced a strange wave of online criticism, with people attacking everything from her speeches to her personality. Instead of disappearing, she kept working, embraced bolder fashion, and eventually turned that backlash into one seriously stylish comeback. Nowadays 43, Anne remains one of Hollywood's most versatile leading ladies. Fans still remember Mia's royal makeover, Andy's Chanel boots, and Fantine's emotional performance. Proof that she can own a fairy tale, a comedy, or a full-blown tragedy. Emily Blunt was born on February 23, 1983, in London, England. As a child, she struggled with a stutter, but acting helped her find control over her voice, and eventually turned what once made her insecure into one of her greatest strengths. With her sharp cheekbones, dry humor, and unmistakably British cool, Emily could steal a scene without raising her voice. She had the rare ability to be funny, elegant, and absolutely terrifying, sometimes all within the same movie. Her breakout role came as the brutally sarcastic assistant Emily in The Devil Wears Prada. She later starred in The Young Victoria, Edge of Tomorrow, Sicario, Mary Poppins Returns, and the hugely successful A Quiet Place films. Emily earned her first Academy Award nomination for playing Kitty Oppenheimer in Oppenheimer. She has also built one of Hollywood's most popular marriages with actor and filmmaker John Krasinski, though the couple keeps most of their family life private. At present 43, Emily remains one of the most reliable actresses in the business. Fans still remember the eye rolls in The Devil Wears Prada, Mary Poppins floating from the sky, and that silent bathtub scene in A Quiet Place. Kate Winslet was born on October 5, 1975, in Reading, England, into a working-class family filled with actors and theater lovers. She started performing young and faced constant comments about her weight, but never allowed Hollywood to decide what kind of leading lady she could become. With her expressive blue eyes, natural beauty, and complete lack of vanity, Kate always felt refreshingly real. She was willing to cry, look exhausted, or appear completely unglamorous if that was what the character needed, and audiences respected her for it. Her early success in Sense and Sensibility led to the role of Rose in Titanic, making her one of the most famous actresses on Earth. She later starred in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Little Children, and Revolutionary Road. Kate won the Academy Award for Best Actress for The Reader, and later earned major television acclaim for Mildred Pierce and Mare of Easttown. She has also spoken strongly against body shaming and unrealistic beauty standards in the entertainment industry. This day 50, Kate remains one of Britain's most respected performers. Fans still picture Rose standing at the front of the Titanic, arms stretched wide, but Kate's fearless career proved she was never going to be remembered for only one ship. Jessica Chastain was born on March 24, 1977, in Sacramento, California. Raised by a young single mother, she discovered acting through school productions before earning a place at Juilliard and slowly working her way into professional theater and television. With her red hair, porcelain skin, and quietly intense presence, Jessica has the kind of beauty that feels classic without looking old-fashioned. She can appear warm and vulnerable, then turn completely fierce the second a role demands it. Her breakthrough year included The Tree of Life, Take Shelter and The Help. She later earned another Oscar nomination for Zero Dark 30 and starred in Interstellar, The Martian, Molly's Game, and The Good Nurse. Jessica won the Academy Award for Best Actress for The Eyes of Tammy Faye. Away from the screen, she has pushed for equal pay, supported women-led productions, and spoken openly about creating better opportunities for female filmmakers. These days 49, Jessica remains one of Hollywood's most reliable dramatic actresses. Fans still remember her emotional work in Interstellar, the determination of Maya in Zero Dark 30, and the bright makeup that completely transformed her into Tammy Faye. Jennifer Lawrence was born on August 15, 1990, in Louisville, Kentucky. She left school early to pursue acting and moved to New York as a teenager, quickly impressing casting agents despite having almost no formal training. With her blonde hair, expressive face, and famously unfiltered personality, Jennifer never behaved like a carefully polished movie star. She could be glamorous on screen, then trip on a staircase or tell an embarrassing story and somehow become even more likable. Her breakthrough came with Winter's Bone, which earned her an Oscar nomination at just 20. She became a global star as Katniss Everdeen in The Hunger Games and later appeared in X-Men, American Hustle and Joy. Jennifer won the Academy Award for Best Actress for Silver Linings Playbook. After years of intense fame and a major privacy scandal involving stolen personal photos, she stepped back briefly before returning with more selective roles and producing projects. Now 35, Jennifer remains one of the most recognizable actresses of her generation. Fans still picture Katniss holding a bow, the red dress from American Hustle, and that unforgettable Oscar fall she managed to laugh off like a total pro. Zendaya was born Zendaya Marie Stormer Coleman on September 1, 1996, in Oakland, California. She grew up around theater, worked as a dancer and model, then became a Disney Channel star while still in her early teens. With her tall frame, expressive eyes, and fearless fashion choices, Zendaya has never looked interested in playing it safe. She can switch from a futuristic red carpet look to a deeply emotional performance, and somehow make both feel completely natural. She first became famous through Shake It Up, and later joined the Marvel Universe as MJ in the Spider-Man films. Roles in The Greatest Showman, Dune, and Challengers helped establish her as a major movie star. Her performance as Rue in Euphoria earned her 2 Emmy Awards, making her one of the youngest winners in the category. She has also become a global fashion icon, known for treating every red carpet like a full creative event. Today, 29, Zendaya is already one of the most influential stars of her generation. Fans remember Rue's glittered tears, MJ's dry humor, and the desert costumes of Dune, but her career still feels like it's only getting started. Lupita Nyong'o was born on March 1, 1983, in Mexico City to Kenyan parents and grew up mainly in Nairobi. She later studied film and acting in the United States, never imagining her first major movie role would take her straight to the Oscars. With her radiant smile, expressive eyes, and fearless sense of style, Lupita brings elegance without ever looking overly polished. She has also proudly celebrated her dark skin and natural hair, helping challenge Hollywood's narrow ideas about beauty. Her performance as Patsy in 12 Years a Slave earned her the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. She later joined 2 major franchises through Star Wars and Black Panther, before showing her horror skills in Jordan Peele's Us. Lupita has spoken openly about colorism, representation, and the pressure placed on black actresses. She also wrote the children's book Sulwe, encouraging young readers to embrace their skin and recognize their own beauty. Currently 43, Lupita remains one of the most distinctive stars of her generation. Fans remember Patsy's heartbreaking strength, Nakia's quiet confidence, and the terrifying red jumpsuit from Us. Proof she can be graceful, heroic, and seriously unsettling. Salma Hayek was born on September 2, 1966, in Coatzacoalcos, Veracruz, Mexico. After becoming a television star in her home country, she moved to Los Angeles with limited English and had to fight for roles beyond the stereotypes offered to Latina actresses. With her dark hair, signature curves, and fiery confidence, Salma had the kind of presence Hollywood couldn't ignore. She was glamorous, sure, but also funny, outspoken, and never afraid to remind the industry that she knew exactly what she was worth. She broke through internationally with Desperado and appeared in From Dusk Till Dawn, Fools Rush In, and Dogma. Her passion project Frida earned her an Academy Award nomination for portraying Mexican artist Frida Kahlo. Salma has spoken about sexism, racism, and harassment during her career, including the battles she faced while producing Frida. She later expanded into producing and supported campaigns focused on women affected by violence and discrimination. Presently 59, Salma remains one of Hollywood's most recognizable Latina stars. Fans still remember the snake dance in From Dusk Till Dawn, Frida's bold eyebrows, and that unmistakable mix of humor, beauty, and don't mess with me energy. Mila Kunis was born Milena Markovna Kunis on August 14, 1983, in Chernivtsi, then part of Soviet Ukraine. Her family moved to Los Angeles when she was 7, and she arrived knowing almost no English before beginning acting classes. With her huge eyes, dark hair, and instantly recognizable husky voice, Mila had a look that could switch from sweet to sarcastic in seconds. Her relaxed sense of humor also made her feel more like someone you'd actually know than a distant Hollywood star. At only 14, she landed the role of Jackie Burkhart in That 70s Show, after being less than honest about her age. She later became the voice of Meg Griffin on Family Guy, and broke into movies with Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Her intense performance as Lily in Black Swan earned Golden Globe and SAG nominations. Mila later starred in Friends with Benefits, Ted, Bad Moms, and Luckiest Girl Alive, moving easily between comedy and darker drama. Now 42, Mila remains closely connected to the roles that made her famous. Fans still remember Jackie's spoiled attitude, Lily's dangerous confidence, and Meg's unmistakable voice. A pretty unusual combination, but somehow it works perfectly. Emma Watson was born on April 15, 1990, in Paris, France, and grew up mainly in Oxfordshire, England. She began acting in school plays before landing the role that would change her life when she was only 9 years old. With her bright eyes, natural elegance, and quietly confident personality, Emma grew from a child star into one of Britain's most recognizable actresses. She always seemed polished, but never afraid to speak her mind when something truly mattered. She became famous worldwide as Hermione Granger in all 8 Harry Potter films. Emma later starred in The Perks of Being a Wallflower, The Bling Ring, Beauty and the Beast, and Little Women, proving she could move beyond Hogwarts. While maintaining her acting career, Emma graduated from Brown University and became a UN Women Goodwill Ambassador. She helped launch the He for She campaign, encouraging men to take a more active role in supporting gender equality. As of 2026, at 36, Emma has stepped back from the non-stop Hollywood machine and chooses her projects carefully. Fans still remember Hermione's wild hair, raised hand, and perfectly delivered spells, but Emma's intelligence and activism made her influential far beyond the wizarding world. Rachel McAdams was born on November 17, 1978, in London, Ontario, Canada. She trained in theater at university and worked in Canadian television before Hollywood discovered just how easily she could switch between sweet romantic leads and total chaos. With her warm smile, expressive eyes, and naturally approachable beauty, Rachel never felt like an untouchable celebrity. She could be charming and vulnerable, then turn around and play someone hilariously cruel without losing the audience. Her breakthrough came in 2004, when she played Regina George in Mean Girls and Allie Hamilton in The Notebook. She later starred in Wedding Crashers, Sherlock Holmes, Midnight in Paris, About Time, and Game Night. At the height of her early fame, Rachel stepped away from Hollywood for a while and reportedly turned down several major roles. She eventually returned on her own terms and earned an Academy Award nomination for her performance in Spotlight. As of now 47, Rachel remains one of Hollywood's most loved and low-key stars. Fans still quote Regina George, cry over the rain-soaked kiss in The Notebook, and wonder how one actress managed to define both teen comedy and modern romance. Kylie Minogue was born on May 28, 1968, in Melbourne, Australia. She began acting as a child and became a household name playing Charlene Mitchell in the Australian soap opera Neighbours, before launching an unexpectedly huge music career. With her petite frame, sparkling smile, and constantly changing style, Kylie became the ultimate pop chameleon. She could go from sweet girl next door to futuristic dance floor goddess and somehow make every reinvention feel completely natural. Her early hits included I Should Be So Lucky and The Locomotion, while Can't Get You Out of My Head turned her into a global pop icon. Decades later, Padam Padam introduced her to another generation and earned her a second Grammy. In 2005, Kylie was diagnosed with breast cancer and temporarily paused her career for treatment. Her recovery became a deeply personal part of her story, and she later used her experience to encourage awareness and early medical checks. Nowadays 58, Kylie is still recording, performing, and filling dance floors around the world. Fans remember the gold hot pants, the unforgettable La 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 hook, and a tiny Australian star who somehow became one of pop music's biggest survivors. Eva Green was born on July 6, 1980, in Paris, France, just minutes before her twin sister. Naturally shy away from the camera, she studied acting in Paris and London before beginning her career on the stage. With her pale complexion, dark hair, and piercing blue eyes, Eva has a beauty that feels mysterious rather than predictable. She can look elegant, dangerous, and slightly supernatural, all without saying a single word. Her breakthrough came in Bernardo Bertolucci's The Dreamers. She later became unforgettable as Vesper Lind in Casino Royale and starred in Kingdom of Heaven, 300, Rise of an Empire, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and Penny Dreadful. In 2023, Eva won a high court case over her unpaid fee for the abandoned film A Patriot. Private messages criticizing the production became public during the trial, but the judge ruled that she had not broken her contract. At present 46, Eva remains one of cinema's most distinctive actresses. Fans still remember Vesper's purple dress, Vanessa Ives facing the darkness, and that intense stare that makes her look like she knows something nobody else does. Olivia Wilde was born Olivia Jane Cockburn on March 10, 1984, in New York City, and grew up in Washington, D.C. Surrounded by writers and journalists, she developed a curious, outspoken personality long before entering Hollywood. With her sharp blue-green eyes, defined features, and relaxed confidence, Olivia had a look that worked perfectly for both drama and comedy. She always seemed cool without trying too hard, which quickly made her stand out. She became widely known as Dr. Remy 13 Hadley in House. Her film credits include Tron, Legacy, Cowboys and Aliens, Rush and Drinking Buddies, but she later found a new creative direction behind the camera. Her feature directing debut, Booksmart, earned major critical praise. Her follow-up, Don't Worry Darling, became surrounded by rumors about cast tension, Shia LaBeouf's departure, and her relationship with Harry Styles, creating almost as much drama off-screen as on it. This day 42, Olivia continues working as an actress, director, and producer. Fans remember 13's cool confidence, Quorra's glowing suit in Tron, Legacy, and the filmmaker who refused to let a storm of Hollywood gossip end her story. We hope this journey through Hollywood beauty and timeless elegance brought back wonderful memories. Please share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us in the next video.